we do that again? I sound like a desperate travel agent. This is kidding me. In a top 5 of Bond locations, you obviously have to have Jamaica in there, so that's why I put it on my top 5, especially the area around Ocho Rios, where Ian Fleming also had his holiday estate, GoldenEye, in which he wrote his first Bond novel, Casino Royale. And it was used in the first Bond film, wherever you go. I mean, they used so much. They used Laughing Waters, waterfall, and the former bauxite mine, which is now, I think, a cruise ship terminal, which doubled for Crab Key, the island of Dr. No. And on the beaches of Ocho Rios is where this fabulous and legendary scene happened. Ursula Andress coming out of the water, meeting Bond for the first time, and this is an iconic moment in cinema history. So the location has to be in a top 5. Yeah, definitely. I really have a soft spot for winter locations. So whenever a Bond film was set in a winter location, like on Her Majesty's Secret Service or The Spy Who Loved Me, and of course For Your Eyes Only, where Cortina d'Ampezzo in Italy played a big role. And this is a touristic ski sport village, and I think it was really well used in For Your Eyes Only, a film that generally had a romantic touch, a romantic feel to it, and I think a winter landscape underlines that perfectly in any film, not just a Bond, but here I think it worked really well. And they used a lot of Cortina d'Ampezzo. They filmed a lot on location, John Glenn and his team. For example, scenes were set right in the city center on the Corso Italia, which leads into that big square where you have the motorcycle going into the flower shop. And this was filmed really on that piazza right in front the Basilica Minore dei Santi Filippo e Giacomo, I think it was. And the action then goes to the ski slopes and to the Trampolino Olimpico in Cortina d'Ampezzo, which is now not used anymore, the ski jump. And of course the bobsleigh track. That was a fantastic sequence. Sadly, also a sequence where a stuntman lost his life, but all in all, a fantastic sequence came out of that. If you go there as a tourist, as a fan, I mean, you can stay in the same hotel as Bond did. You can stay in the Miramonte Grand Hotel, which must be fabulous in wintertime. I mean, the whole area of Cortina must be fantastic with the Tufana Mountains. I would really, really love to go, and I think it fits well into the film For Your Eyes Only. And yeah, well, as I said, I have a soft spot for these things. Cortina. Yeah, semplicemente bellissima. And a little bit of Italian. I can still do. It gets really difficult when you only have 5 that you can choose from all the incredible locations. But on number 3, I actually picked the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, because it influenced me a lot when I saw GoldenEye. It was the first Bond film I saw as a young boy, and you are influenced by these things. You are easily influenced by size. Size does matter. And in GoldenEye, the satellite dish looked huge. And the original satellite dish was a 305-meter spherical reflector dish, and it's built into a sinkhole right there in Puerto Rico. And sadly, in December 2020, due to a cable failure, the cable snapped, the platform that is hanging in the middle of the dish, above the dish, crashed down, and the whole thing became unusable, and I think they couldn't repair it, and it's not in use anymore. But it was definitely bucket list material to go there and see it. I know they had a visitor center, and you could go up to one of the side towers that held the platform in place. So that was a long dream to go to Puerto Rico and see that. Of course, I know that it was a model that they used for most shots in the film. I think they built it on the lot in Leavesden Studios in May 1995. And GoldenEye was the first Bond film that used visual effects and CGI heavily. Not visual effects, but CGI, computer-generated images. And of course, you had Derek Meddings and his model team. So they built a satellite dish copy, a 1:20 scale model, which was 15 meters wide, I think, and it had 30 meters of surrounding mountains and trees and everything around it. So in the film, you think it's the real deal, but actually it's a model. That shows you how well they did that, and how perfectly and detailed Derek Meddings and his team worked. And yeah, I would definitely put that on a top 3. But if I ever go there, I don't know. No idea. Top 2, I have to say, Karlovy Vary in the Czech Republic, definitely, from Casino Royale. I've been there a couple of years ago. I made a feature there, and I found it to be a lovely city, which is perfect when you are a fan and a location traveler. It's easy to access. Well, I live in Germany. If you come from America, it's a totally different thing. But from Germany, Karlovy Vary is easy to reach. And I went there by train, and when you arrive at the train station and you go down through the village, it's like a long stretch of village going through the valley, and you automatically end up in the places where they filmed Casino Royale. And everywhere you turn your eye, you see something that was in Casino Royale. And that is really great, because it gives you a lot of option to explore the area, and to see the film trickery that was done, because that scene was filmed here, that scene was filmed here, but they are all mixed up, so that it's not in chronological order in the film. And then, of course, you have the Grand Hotel pub, where you can stay as a fan, and you can eat at the same table, where Daniel Craig and Eva Green as Bond and Vesper Lynd share a meal after the poker game. This is just fantastic. So it's highly accessible. And when you come out of the hotel and you make your way across a little bridge through a park, that's really good in spring and in summer, when the trees have their green leaves and everything. Because from beyond the leaves, when you walk through the park, the Kaiserbad will appear. That was, of course, the Casino Royale, where they just made a plaque on top of it called Casino Royale, and it was a very run-down building. Actually, it was a 19th century bathhouse, because Karlovy Vary is a spa town. And it was pretty run down, but since the filming of Casino Royale, it has become a focus point for tourists, and they invested a bit of money. And actually, I think now it is in the state-controlled, and there are exhibitions. So when I was there, you could visit, and you could visit the room where the bar is, and where Daniel Craig's Bond orders the martini, and the bartender asks, shaken not stirred, and he says, "Do I look like I give a damn?" You stand in that room, and you can look at that, and that's really, really fantastic. And it's smaller than it comes across in the film. In the film, you think it's a really, really big building, but actually when you are inside, it isn't. It's very compressed. But just looking at the outside, there's these Renaissance and Baroque elements that were not typical for Bohemia at that time, when it still was Bohemia. It was really, really an expensive building style, representative building style. And so Karlovy Vary in total offers a lot to you as a visitor, and you are like in a little James Bond village, because something has been filmed somewhere. The surrounding area is great, and given that it's a spa town, as I said, you can get healthy there. They have these hot springs, and you can drink from it, and it supposedly increases your health. It didn't increase mine, but go ahead and have a try. Oh God, that sounds like a travel advert. I think a lot of people would make the same pick, and for me it's Piz Gloria, obviously, anytime. Yeah, Piz Gloria in Switzerland, actually called Schilthorn. Piz Gloria is the name of the revolving restaurant that's up there. And why is it so special? Why it is my top one? It's just a magical place. Well, Switzerland in general is, but when you are in Lauterbrunnen and you go up to Schilthorn summit and you're in the cable car, ideally in winter time because it looks like in the film, and you go up and you see this tiny structure on the summit which is coming closer, and then on top of Piz Gloria, on top of Schilthorn, you have this magnificent view. I mean, I love mountains and Alps and snowy landscape, but this is really something else. It's fantastic. And there is so much to explore in that area. It's not just the mountain summit and with its restaurant and everything, and the time you spent up there soaking up this aura of Bond that is still there, because inside in the restaurant they kept a lot of the original interiors like you see it in the film. Of course it has been renovated, and it has recently been renovated again, so it looks totally different from the film On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but yeah, well, it's Blofeld's hideout. How could you not like that and put it in a top spot? Absolutely. As I said, the surrounding area is fantastic. Lauterbrunnen is really great. It's a must-see, and you have so many important mountains there. You have the Eiger North Face, the Eiger Sanction with Clint Eastwood was filmed right there. It's just magical film history. Yeah, definitely. And go there in wintertime. It's best in wintertime. Yeah. I actually have to go there again. I think I go this year. Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic.